Hello, hi, goedemorgen. My name is Mariia and I'm an architect and guide. And today I will do a video of how to spend the weekend in the beautiful city that is famous for its bikes, its canals and fries. Based on my background, I think you would have guessed by now that we are in Amsterdam. So let's start the day, shall we? I arrived to Amsterdam from Munich by plane and met with my aunt at the luggage area. You can buy here a multi-day travel cards and take a bus from the airport. It was very convenient. I can recommend the hotel where we stayed. The location was prime and the price for Amsterdam is also fair. And remember this face. This will become my Amsterdam obsession. For the first day we had no specific plan, just wanted to get acquainted with the city. First things first, we start with some tasty food. We got a table finally in this crowded but super nice cafe. So we made an order and now we're waiting for some food to arrive. From what I can tell from the other people's tables, it promised to be very nice. Coffee was good, and for food I took the place specialty and my aunt went for a vegetarian option. Both were good and kept us well fed up till the evening. Don't sit in a cafe for too long. Time to explore the city. In the center of Amsterdam there are still a lot of old historic buildings. Originally they were made from wood, but after massive fires, new style of building appeared. Those brick houses that Amsterdam is so famous for. Taxes were another special thing that defined architecture in Amsterdam. Until 17th century, the width of the facade got taxed. That's why brick houses are tall and narrow. Due to location and the system of canals, Amsterdam became a trading city. The houses surely reflected this. On the first floor of the typical house was a store. Then second and third were dedicated for living. On the upper floors were warehouses. We are walking along the canal and watching the houses, and I think that's the best thing to do, especially in the first day, because then you get the idea of appearance of the city. And what's interesting is that every house is very, very different, but it has kind of like the same style and the same principle, which makes it super appealing, and that's why the city has its character. So the moment that I tell you Amsterdam, you exactly know what kind of houses I'm talking about. In old time, houses in Amsterdam had no number plates. That's the reason why those brick houses have different upper parts. During the walk we stopped by for a coffee. This is a very modern store where you can have an energy boost and buy some things for home. In my opinion, Amsterdam, like in old days, is still very much a trading city. The weather is changing dramatically. Once again, from the sun, it's rainy. The second day started in a healthy way. This is sort of my dream to run during my travels. We stayed next to a lovely park, so I didn't miss the chance for a morning run. It's a very nice experience, so if you run, just take your shoes with you and enjoy the city like this as well. The weather in Amsterdam can be grey and unpredictable, so pack a raincoat and nothing will stop you from enjoying this beautiful building and canals. As you know me, the cultural day simply cannot be without museums. Today the weather is not so amazing, so that's the perfect day to do a cultural / museum day on the list. Today is the Rijksmuseum and Van Gogh Museum, because that's only two museums that you can manage in one day. But before, a cup of coffee is essential. For such a coffee lover like me, Amsterdam has a lot to offer. I found another nice place via my app, and usually when the place is crowded, that's a sign of a good coffee. The place looks super sweet. Hopefully desserts and coffee will be also tasty. So looking forward to it. Time to return back and enjoy some art. Rijksmuseum at first reminded me of the Central Station. I thought that it was rebuilt like d'Orsay in Paris, for example. I wasn't entirely correct, but also not far. The building was designed specifically for the collection, but by the architect who previously did Amsterdam Central Station. That's why they're so alike. As the first thing here, I went to the museum shop. There I saw again my beautiful vase and also bought the museum guide. If you don't take a tour, such a purchase might be handy. The museum is separated into compartments where you can see the masterpieces, but the main thing is waiting for you. This museum was my personal highlight of the trip. I was dreaming to see a night watch, and even the renovation process didn't affect my impression. This is a masterpiece, no words needed. Here you can also see the paintings from Vermeer and come close, study this technique, admire his beautiful ultramarine. Famous still life with Dutch cheese. Rijksmuseum consists not only from paintings. I found my vases, for example. Also the small houses, like a Barbie ones, that shows the interior of the Dutch life. The ship model of the powerful Dutch marine. We also cannot live without traditional landscapes with mills and another famous Dutch painter, Van Gogh. But that was a teaser for the next museum. Second museum for today is Van Gogh Museum. My strong advice to book in advance, otherwise you might face the situation that there will be no tickets available on a short notice, especially in the bad weather, so book in advance. So Van Gogh is another famous Dutch, but of the end of the 19th century. And he spends lots of time in France in a circle of impressionists. He was very unsuccessful alive and sold only 2 paintings during his life. Museum has amazing collection of his work via time, and we can follow the development of his style. And here we are next to the most famous painting of Van Gogh. It's a very grey day like today. It just brightens you up with the yellow colors. In Museum of Van Gogh, you will have a chance to see not only his famous paintings like sunflowers and the branch of almond tree, but also much more of his works from the different periods. And in the museum, the best thing is that they describe the history, why he drew like this. They describe his relationship with his brother Theo. It's been an amazing experience, especially in a rainy day in Amsterdam. I'm building my personal collection of postcards with famous paintings that touched me, so here I also bought a couple of ones. After museums, we basically ran to the store behind me to buy the vase that I saw in Rijksmuseum just earlier. This type of vase went home with me. We came to dine to a very famous place for tourists especially, but for locals as well, I feel. The only positions in menu are seafood, so looking forward to trying. We didn't book in advance and the place was full. However, we still got the table and very much enjoyed the food here.
Seabass filet, gamba, langoustine mussel.
Third day was time to leave Amsterdam. We had a few hours before departure, so used this time to explore the part of the city that we haven't been to yet. But first, as you can guess, coffee. Just had very good coffee, best start for the day. Especially in Amsterdam, it feels like there are so many places to try the coffee. You just have to open the map and then just pick the place. This one I can recommend. Not so far away from the central station is a very stylish shopping center. You can come here even just to get inspired. They have everything from the cosmetics to the home decor. Bought myself for lunch traditional fries with some truffle mayo. Apparently very popular place. Have a try. Very fatty, but worth it. Red light district was not on my list, but somehow we ended up here. During the day it's a regular Amsterdam district, but indeed lots of red. Cafe in a church caught my attention and we stopped for the last for this trip cup of coffee in Amsterdam. And from here now, unfortunately, we are ending our trip to Amsterdam. I hope you enjoyed this weekend with me, and this video will inspire you to come here yourself and maybe use some of my tips. If you enjoyed time with me, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. Thank you for watching and ciao!